So every single day that I wake up, I try to look for different strategies on how I personally, as a real estate professional, can take more market share. What's going on? It's your brother, your uncle, your favorite realtor's favorite realtor. And for today's video, I'm going to share with you an amazing website that has not been tapped into by a lot of realtors, but you should really include this in your wheelhouse and something to do on a day-to-day basis. So every realtor that's out there will tell you that it's important to network. But they don't really, in my personal opinion, give you specifics on how and where you should be utilizing your networking energy, right? For me personally, I have been leveraging social media and the internet, but the internet more so now because of a great website called Nextdoor. So if you know anything about Nextdoor, it's not just a website where you see individuals complaining about their dogs that got loose or a neighbor that's changing their oil in the driveway. Nextdoor has been an amazing resource for me as a realtor because I have been able to data mine like crazy and learn more about my market in a very strategic way. Here's one of the things that I do immediately when I open my Nextdoor app. First and foremost, it's free, so every realtor should have a Nextdoor app that they're connected to and have an account on. But when I jump on there, I am actively engaging with the other neighbors that are around me. For one, it gives me the opportunity to really flex my muscles as it relates to my knowledge of the area in general. I pride myself on being the king of useless information, but there's all kinds of people that have all kinds of questions that I just like to pop in there and just help if I know that subject like the back of my hand, and I answer those questions. And one of the other cool things about Nextdoor is you can set up certain alerts. So what I like to do is I like to set up alerts with the keywords like moving or selling or buying or renovations. I like to know what's going on with my fellow neighbor because if they're renovating because they're thinking about selling, that could be something that is helpful for me as the neighborhood realtor. If I'm hearing the word moving, well, obviously that's a possibility that could turn into a listing. But if I'm staying actively engaged, I know what's going on with my fellow neighbor. So if I'm cold calling them, they're going to say, oh, you're that guy, Marvin from Nextdoor, right? And I can't tell you guys how often that has happened just by me staying plugged into my local Nextdoor group. And the great thing about Nextdoor is it doesn't just put you in touch with neighbors that are in your immediate neighborhood. It expands as big as you'd like the network to go. So I'm always aware of what's going on in the city of Atlanta specifically because of my Nextdoor group. One of the great things that I find that I actually have turned into an email blog that I'm going to send out as a newsletter to my database is that there is a new fitness, gym that's coming to the area. And the only way that I knew that was because somebody posted about it on Nextdoor, and I called that gym and I said, hey, are you guys opening these new locations in the area? And they were like, yeah, how'd you know? And I was like, wouldn't you like to know? What I did in that case is that I'm going to take that secret information, if you will, it's not so secret, but I'm going to put that into a newsletter that I'm going to send out to my database, and I'm going to be seen as kind of the neighborhood mayor, if you will, someone that's dialed into what's going on locally. Of course, if there are like festivals and events, all that information I typically find because other neighbors are talking about it on Nextdoor. And that's powerful information that allows me to really provide value to individuals before they raise their hand and say, hey, I'm looking to buy or sell. Hey, if you've made it this far in the video and you are a real estate professional, consider partnering with me here at Real Brokerage. You pay nothing per month, get a fantastic split, and you have the opportunity to build a business through revenue share and stock purchases. Book a call at the link below in today's video, and I'm happy to have a conversation on why I was able to grow my business exponentially by moving my practice to Real Brokerage. All right, back to the video. One of the other things that I like to do that I use Nextdoor for is I pay attention to recurring themes. If I hear someone talking about traffic in a particular part of town, and it's a lot of people saying that same concern, or if they're telling me that a business is coming, I use that information as data to give my clients, if you will, inside information into that community in general that will be helpful in them determining whether this place needs to be the next destination for their move, right? And one of the cool things that I personally do is I keep a very simple spreadsheet that talks about certain trends in certain parts of the city. And again, if I'm hearing the same word or the same positives or negatives about a particular area, I make note of that information so that I can be more in tune with what's going on locally. And I like to think of Nextdoor as a window into the community's collective mindset. If I hear information about rezoning that's happening or possible developments, that can reveal concerns or potential opportunities for buyers and sellers. And I like to pay attention to the tone of the conversations. Are they overall positive in nature? Or if they're negative in nature, that might be something that could be a concern of mine. That way we can use that information to get that home sold as quickly as possible before the market shifts. And one of the things you want to make sure that you don't do as a real estate professional on Nextdoor is tell everybody and their mama that you are a real estate agent. If I hear someone asking a real estate related question, I will usually put my hand up and just answer the question that they're asking and leave it at that. If you do that enough times for enough people, someone's going to reach out to you on the Nextdoor DMs and say, hey, are you a realtor? Do you sell real estate? And then at that point, I can talk about whatever services that I could potentially provide with them. But you don't want to go into this like people do on first dates where they just vomit everything that they do in their life and it turns into a complete turnoff for that other individual. Just offer advice, offer insight, offer value. Basically, do everything that a person that would be a realtor would be doing without directly asking or expecting people to know that you're a realtor. And I think personally, that's the way that I approach it. And that's why Nextdoor has been amazing for me. And I think it's important to make sure that you are respecting individuals' privacy on apps like Nextdoor. Don't be that guy or gal that hears someone talking about, they're interested in potentially selling. And because you know that neighborhood, you show up at their doorstep. Don't be that person. As I mentioned, if people are interested, they'll reach out to you. Just provide the value, answer the question that's being asked, and leave it at that. A lot of times I get amazing referrals for different services such as electricians or carpet cleaning from Nextdoor, and I love to hear my fellow neighbors' experience working with XYZ company. And I think that if I have a positive experience, I tell the world about that particular vendor and I share it on my Nextdoor group as well. So it's all about not only getting from Nextdoor, but making sure that you're giving value as well. And that's how you build a community that not only is sustainable as you are looking out for your other fellow neighbor, but you can really truly data mine as a real estate professional, use that information that your fellow neighbors are talking about and be very strategic in your approach to marketing, how you are connecting with others in the community, and ultimately how you're building a business. If you want to learn more about how I leverage websites like this to build my business, please sign up for my free newsletter by clicking the link in the first pinned comment below. And of course, if you are interested in talking about alignment, I would love to share the story on why I chose Real Brokerage. Be sure to click the link below in the first pinned comment to book a time on my calendar to see if Real Brokerage would be a good fit for your business. And before you go, YouTube thinks that you would appreciate watching one of these two videos here. So before you go, please click on one of these two videos and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.